Hey everyone, Luhamfm here. Welcome to another tutorial on Inkscape. In this video, we'll be talking about the Trace Bitmap. Trace Bitmap is a tool which helps you convert JPEG or images into a vector format, just like we use the Bezier tool to convert an image into a vector like we did with the Peugeot 504. If you haven't seen that video, I will recommend you check it out. I will also leave the link in the description below. The downside of using this Trace Bitmap tool is that it can only convert a more simpler images just like this one here. I would sometimes leave out some details of the image, but most times it will struggle to convert a more complex image like this image we have here. It will struggle to convert it into a vector because the Trace Bitmap tool is built on an algorithm and there are many factors to consider when using the tool, so it kind of struggle to convert a more complex images with a lot of details just like this one here into a vector. So today we'll be playing around with these settings of the Trace Bitmap and find out what you can do using the Trace Bitmap tool. So let's get down to it. Alright guys, the first thing to know is how to activate the tool. You can activate the Trace Bitmap tool by clicking on any JPEG that you wish to convert into a vector. Once I have it clicked, I can right click, then you will see Trace Bitmap. Another way is using the shortcut, which is Shift plus Alt plus B. Shift, Alt and B. So I can either right click like this and go to my Trace Bitmap, or I click on Shift, Alt and B on my keyboard and the Trace Bitmap menu will open. So you can see this is the Trace Bitmap menu here, and you can see here this is our preview and these are the settings we can do with the Trace Bitmap tool. So we have different direction mode. There's different ways or different approach the Trace Bitmap can use into converting an image to a bitmap. The first one here is brightness cutoff. This has to do with how bright the image is. So if the image is bright, it will kind of use the algorithm of identify the bright area and kind of transform it into a bitmap. You can see that from the preview here, we have some part which is just white, which are this shiny part from the actual image that is trying to portray as a vector image, but it has kind of cut it out because it identifies it as being bright because the mode we are on is brightness cutoff. So there are different settings you can play with. You can adjust the threshold and you can be looking at the preview. If that is okay by you, you can adjust the sparkles. You can adjust the smooth corners, which are all the corners from the Trace Bitmap. You can increase it and you can see that once you are adjusting the changes, make sure you always come down here and click on update preview so that the preview will be updated. You can see the changes you are actually doing on the object. So you can also optimize it just like this and you can see the changes being applied on the image. Then the next mode we have is edge detection. Edge detection kind of detects the edge of the image that you are trying to convert it to a vector. It kind of uses an algorithm to identify the edge and it traces them out. So you can see it has identified all the edge around this ribbon image I have here, and you can see once it has them identified, you can see that it's trying to trace them out, and I can adjust the threshold as well. So once I adjust it, let me update the live preview. Depending on your system specification, some system it do take some time before some of these changes actually apply. Like mine is actually taking some time because this is a heavy duty setting that you are currently performing on Inkscape. But you can see that once I have the threshold increases, like some parts are kind of cut off, so maybe it has detect some part as an edge. I think probably because of this shadow here, that's why there's a bit of space here. They didn't really quite detect this as an edge, so I can just reduce my threshold back and you can see it has detected back as an edge, even this part here, and it has kind of covered it. And also you can play around with some details. You can play around with the smooth corner, you can optimize it, and you can use the user assisted trace, and this one helps you to cover the area you want to select as the foreground, then select the objects to then select both objects. So you can use this, then you select the image you want to apply the settings. So you can just play around with all of these settings to see the one that's best suits or best depicts the image you are trying to convert into a vector. So we go to the next mode. The next mode is color quantization. So this one, it kind of convert the image into a bitmap by using different kind of colors. So you can see that the darker part of this my image is kind of represented with, I think, white, then the other brighter part is represented with black. So it's kind of using detecting the different colors on this image and converting them into bitmap. So you can also invert the image. I think that one will turn the black to white and the white to black. So that is the invert mode, and you can also play around with that, and you can see that the colors is using here is detecting 8 colors. So you can dial it up. You can see that it's detecting more colors, and that's why the vector preview is looking more jagged, because it's representing them differently. That's why it's kind of rough. So you can even reduce it down to maybe 2 colors. You can just use 2 colors. I don't know, I think the lowest is okay. You can use 2 colors, and you can see it kind of not detect anything. So you can just adjust it to best fit your description. So you continue playing around with these settings until you see one that perfectly fits what you are trying to convert into a vector file. So the next one here, we have Trace Bitmap. So you can see this Trace Bitmap is kind of auto trace. So you can see, okay, I think this is kind of cool. This is the closest representation we have gotten so far using the Trace Bitmap, and it kind of look almost exactly to the image we are trying to trace. So let's apply these changes and let's see the difference. So okay, we have applied the changes. You can see it just copied the color. Actually, there is nothing much, but it was looking here from the preview. Okay, let me update the preview. Wow, so looking here from the preview as if it's exactly the image we got, but this is after applying the changes. This is what we got entirely. So let's just continue. We can just adjust the iteration. I don't know why the updates here is not giving us exactly what we get, but let's just go on. And we have the last mode here, which is center line trace. So let's update the preview. I don't know what is wrong with my preview now. It's not giving me the actual preview of what I'm supposed to see. Okay, let me apply these changes. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, so I just kind of trace the outline, which is not kind of complete, but I don't know, the preview is not updating. I don't know with that. Yeah, but I don't know if it's problem with the mode. But let's go back to the normal brightness cutoff. Okay, this is actually showing us some preview. All right, so let's just apply these changes. Okay, you can see that the difference is that this brightness cutoff, it will it's kind of inverting the conversion mode. So if you use this mode to get what you want, you will see that it kind of make the difference of what you are converting. I don't know if you kind of get it, but if you watch my Pathfinder video, you will understand what I'm talking about. It makes the difference of what you are supposed to get. So the way you can extract your vector from something like this is by using your feed tool or your paint bucket tool. I also made a video about that. You can check that out. So once you select the paint bucket tool, let's select another color. Okay, so let's just click on here to fill this part. So you can see we have filled that part into a color, and you can change that color and bring it out. So actually this is now our vector. So this shape that we have gotten from this image right here, you can see that it's kind of close to the actual image, although it's not maintaining the details in respect to the colors. We are not seeing the gradient we are seeing on the actual image, but the shape is kind of close to what we have. So you can also go to your nodes tool and select, so you can see all of these nodes and check some parts which are not actually smooth. So you can see this part right here is not actually smooth. You can delete these nodes here by highlighting and click on the delete button. You can check my notes tool video to also know how to use your notes. So that is how you convert an image into a vector. You can see that it's not kind of perfect, so although it's efficient in some way, if I just want to use this as an icon in my design quickly, instead of using my Bezier tool to start tracing it out from the beginning, I can make a rough trace of the vector using my trace bitmap. Then I use my nodes tool to adjust the flaws that comes with it. So that's one benefit of using the nodes tool. So you can also check that with our actual image. Let me show you what I mean when I say that it will struggle converting a more complex image. You can see that with this simple image, we are not even getting something equally as close to our actual image in a vector format. So how much more this more detailed image? So let's say that once I right click and click on my trace bitmap, or again I use the shortcut shift plus alt plus B, I will open my trace bitmap menu, and you can see just from viewing the preview, you can see that this is actually a rough sketch. This is not even looking anything like what we actually have in the actual image, but as usual we can play around with the tool. So let me increase the threshold and let's see the difference. Let me update the preview. So it's kind of slowing down my system because this is a more detailed object, and also the trace bitmap tool is a heavy tool to use in Inkscape. So sometimes it may actually shut down your software and you have to reopen. So you just have to be careful when using the tool. Let me reduce the threshold so that maybe we can get more detailed object. Okay, you can see this one is kind of detailed. Let me increase it a little bit. So you can continue playing around with the setting until you get something close to what you are doing. Also, this image we are getting here is nothing close to the actual image. We are not getting the details, the color is not coming out, some of the shape are not even there at all. But this is kind of giving you like a silhouette effect that you can use in some random design that you don't really want much detail. So if I'm okay with this, you can continue playing around with the settings on your own to get more better results, but I just want to show you how it will come out. If you're okay with this, you just click on apply and give it a minute. Alright, so this is the image I got from the trace bitmap I just used now. So let me delete this and move that so that we can see it very well. So this is not perfect vector illustration of this actual image, but it's kind of cool and it gives you a kind of cool design that you can just use to play around with if that is what you want. Also, you can use the different mode. The mode we just used there is just the brightness cutout mode. So you can also go back to your trace bitmap menu and switch up to use a different mode. You can use the edge detection. I think this one will give you a more outlined look of your image. So let's update the preview. Okay, wow, you can see this actually hanging in my system. So let me just give it a little time. Alright, so I've selected the next mode, which is edge detection. I can see this kind of detecting only the edge. As usual, I can play around with the threshold. I can increase it to see if I will have more details. I can also reduce it. Once you are just okay with everything, every setting you have applied, again, the trace bitmap cannot be perfect, so it's an algorithm. So you can just tweak the setting to the one that best represents what you are trying to convert to a bitmap. So once you click on apply, it's supposed to apply here. Alright, you can see this is not actually showing that much detail. I should have increased the bitmap more higher so that the details will come out more. But yeah, that is it about the trace bitmap. It kind of converts image or JPEG into a vector, though it's not perfect, but it is something close. If you want something more perfect, you can use a Bezier tool to trace from scratch, though that is time consuming. But yeah, regarding the quality, that is the best you can get. Also, if you are curious about using the Bezier tool, you check out my video on Bezier tool. I will link the video also in this video for you to check them out. So If you have any questions or you have any settings that you love us to try out, maybe some settings you have been using to get a more better detailed result using the Trace Bitmap, please leave them down in the comment section. And if this video was helpful, kindly leave a like and also share to some other people that it will be helpful to. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.